Hey guys, it's Jennifer with Roots Redefined. Get your passport ready because today we are taking you through Norway and Germany at Disney's 2021 Flower and Garden Festival. Norwegians have their own way of going green, and quite literally. Norway isn't highlighted as a garden destination in the festival passport, however there is no way we could overlook these super cool sod roofs. I'm in love with them. Disney even added some flowers on top of the roofs just for the Flower and Garden Festival. For hundreds of years, houses in Norway have been covered with turf. A sod roof, or turf roof, is a traditional Scandinavian type of green roof covered with sod on top of several layers of birch bark on gently sloping wooden roof boards. Until the late 19th century, it was the most common roof on rural log houses in Norway and large parts of the rest of Scandinavia. A sod roof was an advantage because it helped to compress the logs and make the walls more draft-proof. Sod was also a reasonably efficient insulator in cold climates, and the birch bark underneath ensured that the roof would be waterproof. Now, sod roofs come in different varieties. Some are bright green and almost velvety. Others are golden and look like they're growing wheat or oats. A number of turf roofs have flowers mixed in with the grass, and a few even have small trees. And while traditional sod roofs may not be as common today, a more modern take on it, green roofs, are starting to sprout in American cities. Long a proven technology in Europe, green roofs are becoming increasingly common in places like Chicago, Portland, and Washington, D.C. While initially more expensive than standard coverings, green roofs offer some major environmental and economic benefits. Toronto became one of the first cities in the Western Hemisphere to mandate green roofs on some of their larger buildings. A study calculated that if 75% of the flat roofs in the city were greened, Toronto could reap $37 million a year in savings on stormwater management, energy bills, and costs related to urban heat island effects. Now, this is something you can recreate yourself at your home or place of business. A green roof helps to make up for lost garden space and creates a beautiful leafy view. And if you'd prefer not to redo your roof, but love the idea of having a green space up top, a rooftop garden using potted plants is perfect. Now, Norway is also home to the popular Elsa and Anna Topiaries. Behind Elsa and Anna, we have the fringe flower and purple fountain grass. Up front are white and purple pentas mixed in with low-growing gray owl juniper. I'm a really big fan of the purple fountain grass. It's a popular drought-tolerant grass that forms tidy, dense clumps of purplish maroon blades topped with rose-red plumes. Growing to 4 feet tall, its bronzed foliage is beautiful throughout the season, not just in autumn. It's a lovely, fluffy accent in dry gardens. It also provides wildlife a habitat around ponds and adds its billowy character to homegrown meadows. We also have the troll topiary here. I love the fluffy ornamental grass used for his hair. Tall purple verbena, Nikki pink flowering tobacco, and deep blue delphiniums blanket the floor here. This combined with the lush tall evergreens in the background makes you feel like you are in a field of wildflowers in the middle of a forest, something out of a fairy tale. The barrels used as flower planters adds to the rustic wooded feel. Nikki pink flowering tobacco features showy, fragrant, pink star-shaped flowers at the ends of the stems. This compact, vigorous plant produces hundreds of lovely pink blooms from early summer through fall with rich, enduring color. The Nikki pink flowering tobacco is a great choice for beds, borders, and containers. It's often used as a filler in the spiller, thriller, filler container combination, providing a mass of flowers against which the larger thriller plants stand out. And now let's make our way over to Germany, where beds full of pink and red sun patients welcome you as you enter this country. As you make your way in, traditional cone-shaped and spiral topiaries are beautifully styled and covered in a bed of bronze-leafed red begonias. We also have hanging baskets full of red and white flowers decorating the light posts. Disney has 800 hanging baskets on show at any one time, and a total of 4,000 hanging baskets are produced each year. On average, each basket is in production for 3 months and on stage for 3 months. Hanging baskets add delightful pops of color to patio spaces big or small. At eye level, their foliage or flowers command attention and accentuate outdoor decor. Now, you might be wondering what the knobby, gothic chic trees around EPCOT are all about. These sycamore trees represent an art form that might not always be noticed or appreciated. All barren with gnarled knuckles, these arbors are not the product of a genetic mutation. The Tim Burton-esque aesthetic is the tree's natural response to pollarding, an age-old pruning technique that removes new growth shoots before they mature into thicker branches to maintain the height and health of the tree. When a tree is pollard, The outer branches are seasonally cut to a predetermined joint, causing a callus to form over the area. With each subsequent pruning, a new callus develops, resulting in big, bulbous knobs. These knobs are what give the sycamores their interesting aesthetic. Now let's dive into our Germany garden destination, the miniature gardens. Get ready to journey into the huge world of growing small. Miniature gardens combine the joy of gardening with the magic of miniatures. Intricate pieces of living art, the miniature gardens found here represent vignettes you may see in the nearby garden railway. The detail put into this garden is impressive. Moss and white sweet alyssum is used frequently throughout the garden. You will also find juniper, yellow bush daisies, dwarf mondo grass, and other ornamental grasses. Pink sweet william is sprinkled in as well. Moss is used as a lush carpet here. While heavy shade is sometimes considered a curse, it's a blessing when it comes to moss. And there are plenty of varieties of it, each one with its preferred niche of growing conditions. For instance, broom moss seems to thrive on slopes and ledges, whereas pincushion mosses like to grow around the base of trees. When considering soil types to promote moss growth, you can forget about nutrients. Moss absorbs everything through its leaves, so it turns out the best foundation for moss is simply a sturdy one. It'll grow on just about anything, as long as the shade and moisture requirements are met. Designing your own whimsical miniature garden can be really fun. Miniature gardening makes you see things from a different perspective. It's an engaging hobby that lets you use your imagination to produce a unique green oasis in a small space. By selecting petite plants and carefully maintaining them, you can enjoy your distinctive miniature garden for years. And don't forget to accessorize. Lifelike accessories such as bridges, gazebos, chairs, or even a miniature house can add that finishing touch. Now, keeping with the theme here, something you might not know is that scattered throughout Germany are collections of what look like tiny houses surrounded by well-kept gardens. But people don't live in these small structures with flourishing yards. These are allotment gardens, a take on community gardens. Originally developed to facilitate health and wellness, these green spaces are considered to be a way of life. In the early 1800s, during a strong period of urbanization, when many people had moved to the cities for work, impoverished families often had difficulty finding enough to eat. Some churches, city administrators, and factory owners offered to lease them community land for a small fee so that they could grow their own food. As urbanization continued, Dr. Schreber was concerned that children raised in the city would suffer if they didn't have more outdoor experiences. He proposed the concept of playgrounds where everyone could get physical exercise and enjoy the outdoors. Just a few years after he died, the idea gained traction, and the concept of this garden was named for him. The early spaces were mostly play areas on the outskirts of town, but families quickly realized there was value in the land and also began planting gardens in their outdoor plots. While the kids ran around and soaked in all that fresh air, the adults grew vegetables for the family. The gardens eventually evolved into a hub for relaxation and social life for everyone. Though they are no longer a necessity, these gardens are still prevalent in Germany. They are now considered a luxury, or some say a key pillar to a recreational way of life. These days, there are about 1 million allotment gardens in Germany, and 95% of them are occupied. Now we also have the classic Snow White and Dopey topiaries. They are displayed in a bed overflowing with cool, soft spring colors. Purple hydrangeas, pink sweet william, blue delphiniums, petunias, yellow bush daisies, white pentas, and blue days are found here. We also have a vine beautifully twined around the wood fence behind Snow White and Dopey. Now, Disney doesn't just go out and decide what kind of plants and colors they want to use. These designers make sure the plants tell a story. Those plant stories can change with the season, such as blanketing the beds with white flowers to mimic snow in Epcot's Norway Pavilion in winter, or welcoming spring to the Magic Kingdom with masses of red and yellow tulips. And most flower beds at Disney are changed 4 to 6 times a year. Overnight too, so visitors don't see the change happening. Now, if you enjoyed the German miniature gardens, you might want to check out the mini kokedama and bonsai collection in my Japan flower and garden video. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. This is Jennifer with Roots Redefined. I'll see you again real soon.